My grandmother called me a bastard for 30 years. For as long as I can remember, my grandmother called me a bastard. Not as a whisper, not in anger that passed, but as a title she wore on her tongue like a badge of truth. At family gatherings she would say it casually, the way others said a name. Bring the bastard some. The bastard doesn't belong in this photo. I learned early that words could bruise without leaving marks. I didn't understand it when I was small. I thought maybe it meant I was clumsy, or loud, or unwanted in ways I hadn't learned to fix yet. I tried to be quieter. I studied harder. I stood straighter. None of it helped. The word followed me through childhood like a shadow that grew longer every year. My father never defended me. He stared at the floor when she spoke, as if the tiles held the answers he couldn't give. My mother would tighten her lips and change the subject. Silence became the family language. I learned it fluently. At school, I laughed easily and made friends quickly because I needed witnesses to prove I existed beyond that word. When I was 12, I finally asked my mother what it meant. She went still, like a glass of water set down too hard. She said nothing that day. A week later, she told me I was born before my parents were married. That my grandmother believed bloodlines were laws written by God himself. To her, time mattered more than love. A ceremony meant legitimacy. Anything before it meant shame. And shame, once named, was never forgiven. I carried that explanation like a stone in my pocket. It didn't excuse the cruelty, but it gave it a shape. Still, knowing why doesn't make pain polite. Every holiday reopened the wound. Every casual insult taught me that endurance could be mistaken for weakness. I left home as soon as I could. I built a life where my name was spoken with respect. I became someone who kept promises, who showed up, who loved carefully and fully. Yet every time I succeeded, a small voice asked if it was enough to outrun a word given at birth. When my grandmother died, I expected relief. What I felt instead was emptiness. At the funeral, people spoke of her strength, her principles. No one spoke of kindness. I stood by her grave and realized something quietly powerful. Her word had shaped my past, but it did not own my future. I am not the name she gave me. I am the life I built despite it. And that, finally, is the truest inheritance I claim.